Welcome back to the Anfield Exchange. It's finished PSV 4, Liverpool 1, and that was embarrassing. PSV, obviously top of the league, decent team in the Eredivisie, should not be absolutely demolishing Liverpool at Anfield on the Champions League night. That just cannot happen. The gulf in quality between the players, between the teams, we cannot accept that. I've been, the fan base has been divided in terms of a lot of us want Arne Slot out, a lot of us want Arne Slot in. I've been very much up until this point. I feel like I've been defending Arne Slot because of everything he's done for us. I think some of the criticism has been unfair. I think some of the criticism has been justified. I can't defend him after that. I'm never going to call for the manager's head. I'm never going to ask for Arne Slot to be sacked. I'm certainly not going to ask for that right now. I don't want to become one of those clubs that sacks managers when things aren't going right. Obviously, we've been through some tough times as Liverpool fans. Certainly the pre-Klopp era, and it feels like we're going to be going through that again for a few years. Boos at the end, probably for Arne Slot, probably for the players as well to a degree. I think the players have let Arne Slot down. I think Arne Slot's let the players down. I think they've all let the fans down. Yes, they've had a tough campaign. Yes, they've had a tough summer with everything that's gone on. But there comes a point where you need to start winning football matches, and as Liverpool Football Club, you cannot perform the way they've been performing. You can't lose this many football matches in a season in a row. It's I don't know. It's so. I genuinely went into this. I think our Champions League form's been quite good. I went into this game and I thought this would be a comfortable victory for Liverpool. I thought the same against Nottingham Forest at the weekend, and now we're heading into West Ham this weekend, and I have zero confidence that we're going to pick anything up against what has been a very poor West Ham side this season. I don't know where we go from here. Arne Slot seems to be very set in his ways, and I think we all saw it tonight when Federico Chiesa came on the pitch. What I want to see from this Liverpool team, we're going through tough times. I'm not asking for us to win every game. I'm just purely asking for us to put in a performance that shows that we still care, because some of those performances tonight, some of those players were just short of shocking. And I don't know where we go from here. I don't know where we go. Get in the comments, let me know, because for me it feels like it's the end of Arne Slot. It feels like we're in that moment where a manager's about to lose his job. Now the question is if Arne Slot does lose his job, who's out there? Because for me, I don't see any obvious contenders. And I don't really want to talk about replacements for him yet, because I do think that he should be given the benefit of the doubt. I do think that he can turn it around. But there was parts of tonight where it looked like the players have stopped playing for him. And a lot of it, the reason we've lost that game, I thought in periods we looked quite good. But it's the same problems we've had all season. We cannot concede this many goals. It cannot happen. 4 goals at Anfield against PSV, 3 goals at Anfield against Nottingham Forest. It's just not good enough. And normally, listen, we've never been a team like Arsenal are this season. We've never been consistently great at keeping clean sheets, and whether that's because of the attacking mindset that we've always had. But we've always had the ability to score goals. And I look on that pitch tonight. I'm not going to include Ekitike in this because I thought Ekitike was brilliant up until his injury. That's another kick in the teeth that Ekitike has gone off injured. But I look on that pitch tonight, and you've got Mo Salah, you've got Cody Gakpo, you've got Alexander Isak. How can we have that quality on the pitch and not be able to create a chance? The statistics said we had 20 shots on goal tonight. I think the majority of those have been blocked, majority off target. We never really worked for the goalkeeper. We never really tested him. I don't know where we go. And some of the goals we're conceding. 4 minutes into this game, our captain, our leader, our two-time Premier League winner, who is supposed to be the one leading us out of this mess, gives away a penalty for the most ridiculous handball. Now, you can claim Virgil van Dijk, you can claim as much as you want that you was pushed in the back, but that the amount of contact you received, why is your arm up in the air? Why the contact you've received from a PSV player, you did not need to react like that. And because you've reacted like that 4 minutes into a game where the pressure's on, we know how tense it is, how intense our campaign's been to this point, how much we needed to get a win, just to try and build a little bit of confidence back into the team, into the players, into the manager, even into the fans. And you're giving away a stupid penalty like that, and it seems we give these cheap goals away all the time. I think PSV had a goal disallowed in the second half as well, which was just offside, but again from another set piece. Our in a bit. Listen, I feel sorry from some aspects with Arne Slot because he's been telling us all season we've conceded 9 goals from set pieces. We've now conceded 10 or 11 goals from set pieces. Why can we not defend a set piece? We've got players, we've got Van Dijk and we've got Konate. Them two should be winning these balls into the box. The last goal for the third goal for PSV, ball comes over, Konate goes to try and control it, it goes under his foot. PSV are in one-on-one with a goalkeeper. Another mistake. I think there's definitely a lack of confidence, but it feels like there's a lack of ability as well. And I don't want to call players out because I think as a unit it wasn't good enough. We just don't create anything. I think for me but one of the issues is we're too predictable as a team. Certainly going forward, we are too predictable as a team. Once we get the ball into the final third, everybody knows what we're going to do. And we do it time and time and time again. Cody Gakpo and Mo Salah do the exact same thing every week without fail. Both of them cut inside and try to get a shot off. And if you've got players like that, that's fine if you've got players like that. If you have a player like Roberto Firmino in that striker position who's going to drop deep and drag defenders out to give you to create the space to do that. But we don't have that type of striker. And we're still playing the way as if we do have that type of striker. This is why in the last few games, Ekitike, he's having to create his own chances. Alexander Isak, not really had any chances. It's because I think we're in this mindset where our wingers should be the ones getting us the goals. Well, I'm sorry. We've gone out and spent over £200 million on strikers this summer to go and get us the goals. Build your team around these guys. We've got Alexander Isak, we've got Hugo Ekitike, bags of potential, bags of ability. We've got Florian Wirtz, and we still seem to be building our team around Mo Salah. I mean, listen, I'm struggling. I'm struggling with these performances of late. I'm struggling with this team. I think there were some good performances out there. I think Ekitike was one of them. Szoboszlai, again, you know what you're going to get with Szoboszlai, but then I think even towards the end, there were some sloppy passes on his behalf. I actually think Kerkez, certainly in the first half, I actually think Kerkez played very well tonight. Probably his best performance in a Liverpool shirt. I think we have to look at everybody else. I would say those three shouldn't be criticised because I think they put in good performances. Listen, Van Dijk was so poor tonight. Curtis Jones did okay at right back, but you're playing with this makeshift back four that, I mean, the whole team, it looks like we won the Premier League last season. This team looks like we've never played together. It's how does Arne Slot turn it around? That's the question. I don't know. I don't know how he turns it around. I think that the problem is we're seeing the same thing week in, week out. We're seeing the same things happen. And for us to change our fortunes, for us to change the way the results are going, we have to change something. And we're doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. It baffles me. I don't know what you can change, whether that's personnel, whether it's formation. I think one thing is clear. We've got some players that are no longer in the prime. I would put Virgil van Dijk in that category. I think I'm seeing more and more of Van Dijk that show me that this probably will be his last contract, these 2 years. Same with Mo Salah. I thought Mo Salah was awful again tonight. I look at Mo Salah now. And listen, I know there's a lot of us. What Mo Salah's done for Liverpool is nothing short of unbelievable. But you have to admit when these things are coming to an end. And I think the Mo Salah that we know, that we love, is coming to an end. I think it's clear for everybody to see. I watch Mo Salah now play football, and I don't know how he benefits us. He's not creating chances. He's not scoring goals. He's not tracking back. He's not pressing. What are we getting from Mo Salah? And I don't want to make Mo Salah a scapegoat because there's a lot of players that I've got questions about. I think Gravenberch has been poor recently, which is frustrating because what is frustrating is I actually thought Konate had a good game up until his mistake. And then I think probably a little bit unfairly he got dragged off. Arne Slot will probably say that's tactical. We need to get a defender off and get a striker on the pitch. We do it every week. Konate comes off, we bring a striker on, and nobody seems to know what we're doing. I think what's frustrating is we haven't had Van Dijk and Konate have a good game together. Either Van Dijk's having a stinker or Konate is having a stinker. It's always the case. It's been the same in midfield all season. Gravenberch started the season well. McAllister was shocking. Now McAllister seems to have turned that around and picked up a little bit of form and seems to be playing a little bit better. But now Gravenberch has dropped off. And I think we're obviously lacking in confidence. I think we have a serious lack of leaders in this squad when it comes to playing football. I think the one player, I'm going to say two players, but I think the one starter for Liverpool is obviously Dominic Szoboszlai. He's the only one who looks like he's trying to pull our team out of whatever mess it is we're going through. But then in terms of passion as well, I have to look at Fede Chiesa because whenever Chiesa is on that football pitch, he is the one that shows the most passion, the most desire to win. And how can a player that's playing 10 minutes, if that, each game, how can that lad have more passion than some of these players that have been here for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years? That baffles me. And it's that passion why Liverpool fans love Chiesa. Do I think Fede Chiesa is good enough to start football matches for Liverpool? No, I don't. I think he has his moments and he can create opportunities. But do I think he can press for 90 minutes? No, I don't. Do I think if we start to play him as a first team starter, I think he'll pick injuries up. But I love him, and I don't understand why Arne Slot hasn't at least given him an opportunity. I'm not saying drop Mo Salah and play Chiesa in the remainder of the season. I'm not saying that because evidently Mo Salah still has more quality on the ball than Chiesa. But the passion that Chiesa shows, you need some of these moments. I thought Kirkes was doing it as well. He showed passion tonight. He was going in for tackles. He was making some good tackles. And it's, if you're not scoring goals and you keep conceding goals, you need those moments where somebody presses a goalkeeper. That was Chiesa at times. That was Ekitike at times. Somebody puts in a tackle. You need something to give these fans in the ground hope. You need something to give us a belief that it's going to get better, because at the minute I don't think any of us can say that it looks like it's getting better, because it doesn't. It looks like it's getting worse. It was tough. It was tough to watch tonight, seeing the fans leaving early again. It was tough to hear the boos. I mean, it's absolutely mental, isn't it? We were in that ground back in May, and we were on top of the world. We were on top of the world. We'd lift a Premier League trophy. We were singing the songs. It was. How did we get here? How did we get in this situation now? In the matter of 6-7 months, how have we gone from where we were to booing the team off the pitch, booing the manager? I don't know. I don't know. A lot can change in football. I'm surprised at the boos tonight. I think there's a difference in opinions between fans on social media and fans who aren't as vocal on social media. Fans that are in the grounds, fans that are part of Liverpool. And I don't want to say the social media fans aren't, but I think there's a difference in. I think there's a lot of people on social media. I see it all the time. I think they say things that are quite controversial because they're trying to grow. They're trying to grow whatever it is they're doing. I see it on Twitter probably the most, where people are just saying things to gain interactions. That's not what I do on this channel. I come on this channel to talk about Liverpool, to give my opinion, whether that tallies in with you guys' opinions or not. I come on here a lot of the time recently to just vent. But I see a massive divide between social media and a lot of the fans. I think that's what surprised me today when the fans were booing at the end of the game. Do I think it's justified? Yes. Is it the norm for Liverpool Football Club? Nope. It's a tough one. I think we've just experienced some great years under Jurgen Klopp, and I believe we didn't really. Maybe we took it for granted, the passion that Jurgen Klopp showed, and obviously the reason he left was he was exhausted. He didn't have the energy to do the job. But the passion that Jurgen Klopp showed, listen, he was a top manager. We all know that. We all loved him. I personally didn't realise how much I need that passion from my manager until the last year or so with Arne Slot, because listen, he's calm, he's collected, which is fine. It's fantastic when you're winning football matches, but when you're not winning football matches, I want to see that passion. Is that the reason we're not seeing the passion from the players? Is Arne Slot and the calm, composed persona, is that rubbing off on the players? Because it comes down to man management, and Jurgen Klopp's one of the best in the games at this, where he's kind of your friend first and then your manager second. And the impact that has, we saw it, I think the first case really where I saw it was with Adam Lallana. What that does is it gets the players wanting to play for that manager. Those players will run through brick walls for that manager. Now, a lot of these players played under Arne Slot. Do we get the impression that these guys would run through a brick wall for Arne Slot? I don't, and I think that potentially comes down to the man management side of it. I do think that he does need to try and switch things up. And listen, whether that means changing your formation, bringing some players in, I think we probably miss a ball-winning midfielder. We do miss a ball-winning midfielder, a Fabinho-like player. But then the only ball-winning midfielder we've got in the squad is Endo, and I don't think he's good enough. I'm actually surprised. I thought Endo might start tonight because I didn't expect it to be as tough of a game as what it turned out to be. But we know Endo's not a long-term solution. We know Endo's not good enough. It'll be interesting to see if you do bring in a ball-winning midfielder, who do you play alongside him, Gravenberch, McAllister? Because on the day they're both fantastic players. But something needs to change. And I do not know what that is. I'm hoping Arne Slot has a plan or an idea of how we move this forward, because it's a tough time. It's a tough time to be a Liverpool fan. I don't know. We just seem to be making too many mistakes, and there seems to be a little bit of a stubbornness from Arne Slot. I mean, he listened and he didn't play Szoboszlai right back tonight. He played him in the number 10. And I thought he did well. He worked hard. But then what's the plan with Florian Wirtz? What do you do with Florian Wirtz? Because he's predominantly a number 10 as well. I don't think you can. I now don't think you can take Dominic Szoboszlai out of that 10 position. I really don't think you can. So you're looking at potentially playing Wirtz out on the left, which means either Ekitike or Isak's going to be missing out. And I don't know, when they brought these players in, they must have had an idea. Now, whether Ekitike was always brought in to be the backup to Isak temporarily, but then the problem you got Ekitike first when you were still trying to deal with the Isak signing, and Ekitike came in and started scoring goals from the off, so you can't really leave him out, especially when Isak then comes in and doesn't really get up to much. So I don't know, man. 4-1 is absolutely embarrassing, and like I say, I no longer feel like I can defend Arne Slot. I have been defending him a lot on social media because I'm seeing a lot of tweets really saying that he should be leaving. He should be sacked. I actually saw there was two, I can't remember the Twitter accounts that posted these out there, but I saw two accounts that they put a poll out there, both of them, and I think each one had about 5,000 votes, and on both of them they were over 75% for Slot out, which at the time I thought was absolutely ridiculous. But I don't know. We really need to turn it around. West Ham at the weekend. We've got Leeds coming up. We got Sunderland. We got Inter Milan, Brighton. So certainly in the Premier League, the fixture list looks quite kind to us. But we need to start winning, and we need to start winning consistently and putting a run together now. Because if we don't put a run together now, our season could be over before the turn of a new year. But yeah, I don't know. That was a tough watch. That was a tough watch. That, and I don't know. We just don't seem to be able to score goals, and we don't seem to be able to keep them out of our own net, and that's a recipe for disaster. So listen, get in the comments. Let me know what you think of the game. Let me know what you think of the game tonight. Let me know if you slot in or slot out, because it'd be interesting to see how many of you guys think he should be gone. Think we're done with him, and who's still supporting him. I know a lot of it is reactionary. I'll probably wake up tomorrow and think, no, Arne Slot needs to be Arne Slot needs to be given the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know. Right now, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch Liverpool, and in turn, like normally I'm one of those when things are going well, I watch Liverpool and I watch the rest of the Premier League, and do you know what I mean? I'm genuinely falling out of love with the game of football. And I think it tallies in with Liverpool losing so many games. I can't remember the last football match that I watched that wasn't Liverpool. Whereas normally I watch every possible football match that's on TV. So I don't know. Get in the comments, guys. Let me know what you think of that game, and whether you slot in or slot out. Because I'd love to see what the ratio is now. But yeah, get in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.